Apologize for the break in transmission. The Vice President of Brazil, Geraldo Alckmin, and his wife, Maria Alckmin, arrived in Nigeria for the commencement of the second session of the Nigeria-Brazil Strategic Dialogue Mechanism. On arrival at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, the delegation was received by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hadejia, and Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole. Other government officials that received the delegation are the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maiha, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, among others. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has conducted its primary elections across 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory. Chairman of the Election Committee and PDP Chairman of Plateau State, Honorable Chris Hassan, emphasized the party's commitment to internal democracy and unity. Godwin Sunday has the details. Academic Staff Union of Universities, Reverend Father Moses Osio Adasu University, Makurdi, Benue State, has called for immediate humanitarian support and the implementation of effective resettlement programs to aid the safe return of the displaced persons from all communities attacked by suspected armed headers in the state. This is contained in a statement issued by Ali Sule Ako and Daniel Chile, the union's chairperson and secretary respectively, and made available to journalists. The union condemned the recent attack on the people of Yelwata in Guma local government area of the state. The federal government has assured citizens, residents and visitors of Abuja's safety, addressing concerns raised by a recent Embassy Security Advisory restricting non-official travels by its staff and families to military and government facilities within the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, acknowledged the advisory in a statement yesterday, but emphasized that Abuja remains safe. Idris highlighted the proactive measures undertaken by Nigerian security agencies to ensure the safety of the FCT. 197 Nigerian troops have been deployed to the Economic Community of West African States missions in the Gambia. The troops underwent training at the Martin Luther Agwe International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center in Jaji Military Cantonment, Kaduna. Speaking at the graduation ceremony over the weekend, the Chief of Operations, Army Major General Uwembasi, said the troops were expected to maintain discipline, impartiality, and respect for human dignity while carrying out their mandate in the Gambia. The Senate has announced a comprehensive 2-day zonal public hearing on the proposed amendment to the 1999 Constitution to be held simultaneously across the 6 geopolitical zones. The hearings, which will take place on July 4th and 5th, 2025, are being organized by the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, chaired by Jibril Barrow, the Deputy President of the Senate. In a statement signed by Ismail Madashir, Special Advisor to Barrow on Media and Publicity, the hearings will be held in Lagos, Enugu, Ikotepene, Jos, Maiduguri, and Kano. About 1.3 million people die from secondhand smoke every year. 79 countries have implemented comprehensive smoke-free laws, according to a World Health Organization report on the Global Tobacco Epidemic 2025. The report released at the World Conference on Tobacco Control in Dublin warned that action is needed to maintain an accurate progress in tobacco control as rising industry interference challenges tobacco policies and control effects. The report focuses on 6 proven WHO-empowered tobacco control measures to reduce tobacco use, which claims over 7 million lives every year. Moving on, an unspecified number of school infrastructure and staff quarters have reportedly been destroyed due to rainstorms in Funtua local government area of Katsina State. This is contained in a statement issued by the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry, Sani Danjuma Suleiman. The statement noted that the State's Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Zainab Masawa, was saddened by the devastating damage caused by the rainstorm. You are watching the live broadcast of Midday News. When Midday News returns, federal government revenue jumps 40% to 6.9 trillion naira in 4 months. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. In business news, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says that the reforms introduced by Bola Tinubu's administration have effectively dismantled the dollar black market and boosted the federal government's revenue to 6.9 trillion naira between January and April 2025. The figure represents a 40% increase compared to the 5.2 trillion naira recorded during the same period in 2024. Edun made this known in Abuja during the second quarter 2025 Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement Session on Fiscal Performance and Outlook Reform. He attributed the surge in revenue to the administration's liberalization of the foreign exchange market, fiscal discipline, and the deployment of technology to block leakages across ministries, departments, and agencies. In the meantime, the Ministry of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says the ministry is at its third phase to achieve a rapid growth in the economy for increased investment in Nigeria. The minister made this known at the 2025 second quarter Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement on the implementation of presidential priorities and ministerial deliverables meeting. Sharon Ajay completes the story.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, stated that while there's an increased gross domestic product growth of 3.4%, the industry is faced with the need to achieve 70% per annum, with the aim of pulling Nigerians out of poverty.
Real GDP growth is on the right trajectory, but at 3.4%, even 3.8% is not enough. That is not the aim, that's not the objective. And that's not the target of Mr. President. It is instead to achieve in the nearest future a GDP growth rate on a sustainable basis of somewhere near 7% per annum. And why that figure? That would be more than double population growth.
Speaking on the need for adequate funding for the small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, as well as entrepreneurs in order to boost the market economy, the minister emphasized on the need to achieve the efficiency in identifying and managing the federal revenues in the federal purse for the benefit of Nigerians.
Small and medium-scale businesses, entrepreneurs, service providers, manufacturers are the backbone of this market economy, and they have been provided grants, they have been provided low interest loans, mainly through BOI, as well as larger scale loans for the medium-sized enterprises.
He highlighted the working plans achieved by the industry in the oil and gas, health and power sectors, as well as NEL Fund. Sharon Ajay, reporting for Global TV News. The minister
In a statement posted on its verified X account, the Qatari General Civil Aviation Authority confirmed the resumption of normal air traffic operations. The missile strike was part of Iran's retaliation against the United States' attack on its nuclear facilities over the weekend, escalating regional tensions. The High Court of Justice, King's Bench Division, London, has concluded hearings on the £55 million oil spill lawsuit against the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited. The case stemmed from two major oil spills that occurred in Israel have agreed to a ceasefire after close to 2 weeks of violent conflicts between the two countries. Trump took to his Truth Social to announce that both countries had agreed to a complete and total ceasefire. According to him, the ceasefire agreement is expected to take effect at 12 midnight local time, but Iran and Israel are yet to confirm any definite ceasefire agreement. Meanwhile, Israeli rescuers say 3 people were killed in an Iranian strike, and Tehran state media reported new waves of missiles heading for Israel after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a ceasefire between the two Middle East foes. Neither Iran nor Israel has confirmed the agreement touted by Trump on ending the conflicts that had killed hundreds in Iran and 24 in Israel. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas argues that, as for now, there is no agreement on ceasefire or cessation of military operations. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has denied reports of a ceasefire agreement with Israel, stating that Tehran will only stop its retaliatory attack if Israel ends what it described as illegal aggression. Posting on his verified X account, Araghchi refuted United States President Donald Trump's earlier claims that both countries had agreed to truce to end the ongoing 12-day conflict. So far, Israel has not made any public statements regarding the ceasefire claims. Exiled Iranian opposition figure Raza Pahlavi, the son of Shah, ousted by the 1979 Islamic Revolution, has declared that Iran is on a crossroad and on the verge of collapse. Speaking at a press conference in Paris, he warned that if the West throws the regime of a lifetime, there will be more bloodshed and chaos, insisting that the regime will neither submit nor surrender after it has been humiliated. Uyi Abumifwebe reports. We'll bring that report to you in our later bulletin. Now we'll go to the sports news. Former Nigerian sprinter Olusoji Fasuba has launched a scathing attack on the hierarchy of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria following a statement put out